Hey everyone, and welcome back to Margaret's story in The Sims 4. Alice and Margaret have been hanging out at the cafe for the past couple hours, and Alice introduced Margaret to all of the members because she's been talking about Margaret for the past few months to all of the members of the literature club that she's holding over here. And she's also been showing to them all of the paintings that Margaret did when she was younger. And especially the one that inspired her one of her most famous novel, which made her a full-on novelist and one of the most famous novelists of Windenburg. And even though Margaret, she was flattered to receive all of those compliments, she's been also feeling quite awkward and uncomfortable because she hasn't painted in years. And she's been feeling also a little bit of like a fraud, you know, because she doesn't even know if she still has all of this inspiration, all of this imagination that she used to have when she was younger. Because Margaret, even though she's still, you know, she keeps drawings doodle here and there from time to time, but it's not full-on paintings that she used to before. Because she used to paint beautiful landscapes, and she was painting landscapes from Windenburg, from Granite Falls, where she went on holidays with her family camping from time to time, but she was also painting landscapes that she has in mind. That she had in mind just from imagination and inspiration, and she was telling stories through those landscapes. She was hiding some details here and there, and she hasn't painted in a very, very long time, so she doesn't even know if she still has this inspiration. But thanks to all those compliments, and in a way thanks to her mom, who kind of made her the center of attention in her club, Margaret is wondering if she has still in her this imagination and this inspiration that she used to when she was younger. So she's thinking maybe getting back into painting, just trying just one more time and see how it goes. If it goes well, if she's feeling great while painting, because nobody really knows except Margaret what happened and why she gave up this passion of hers that she has had since she was very, very young, actually as long as she can remember, why she gave up this passion of hers for the arts just overnight, over a single whim. But even though she enjoys being the center of attention like that, she's, oh my god, it's Santa Claus. Or Father Winter in The Sims. But yeah, even though she enjoys being the center of attention, as I said, she's feeling like a fraud, and she doesn't feel like she can talk about painting and talking about, you know, color theory and things like that, because she hasn't painted in such a long time that she doesn't even know if she knows everything there is to know about painting. So she's going to go over here away from everybody and let her mom teach her class about literature analysis, and let Alice just do her thing and just get away from everyone. And she's going to go and order a lemonade from the food stall that's just downstairs, which is actually something that was added with season. And this is so cool that you can actually see those things pop out all over the different worlds. And is that Delson? So this guy is called Delson Oldoye, I think this is how you say his last name, and he was one of Margaret's major crush when she was in high school, and she's quite surprised to see him here. So let's go and talk to him. Let's do a heartfelt compliment, because it's so nice to see him again. You know, we haven't seen him in such a long time, and he never knew that Margaret had a thing for him. And I think Margaret would feel so weird, you know, to see the guy that she was in love with for pretty much all of her time in high school, and he's changed since then. You know, he grew a beard, he has longer hair, and apparently he's working in here. And Delson, I don't really know him that much, so let's go and get to know him, because she hasn't talked to him, I think, a lot when she was in high school. She was more idolizing him when she was younger. You know, she never talked to him. She was just maybe sometimes in classes sharing some of her knowledge, maybe in science or maybe in arts, especially in arts, I think. But she wasn't really friends with him, so it's a good opportunity for her to maybe get to know him a bit more. Let's go and compliment his outfit, you know? And what does she want to do? She wants to do a sincere apology. Why? You haven't done anything wrong. Let's not share melancholy thoughts. Let's just maybe get to know him a little bit more. Oh, he's childish. We can probably get to know another trait of his. Let's ask about his day. It's so weird to be seeing him here. She hasn't thought about him in years. And now seeing him, maybe this rekindles a little bit of her feelings for him, you know? He's an insider as well. Yeah, he was some kind of a bra when he was in high school, you know? He was always hanging out with the popular kids in school. It's so weird to be seeing him here, as I've been saying earlier, but it's so weird. Let's go and flatter him. Let's just, get into his good side and not haggle, but let's joke about fashion, why not? Because Margaret, after all, she's a goofball and this is how people like her. Let's enthuse about guitar solos, maybe he's a music lover. And let's tell a gross joke, why not? Margaret, this is Margaret, just for you. Margaret is feeling a few butterflies in her stomach, because earlier today when she woke up at the house, she was feeling like a teenager again, and look at that, she's seeing her crush from high school, so she's once again feeling like a teenager, and maybe this time she can have the guy of her dream or actually her high school dream. Maybe this can happen. Let's go and brighten his day again. I would like to get to know him a little bit more, to get to know his last trait. Let's discuss color theory. Because Delsin knew that Margaret, she was the artsy girl from high school, and he knew that she loved painting, and he actually never told her, but he came and looked at her painting during the art classes they had in high school, and he was amazed by how great she could paint. Let's go and do, I don't know, let's express admiration. And look at that, their relationship is growing really, really fast. We still have one trait to get to know. But maybe we can actually do that around a couple of beer, at the bar that's just over there. Maybe we can go to the bar and hang out with Delsin a little bit. I'm sure he would say yes, and I think they just became friends. Yes, they are. So you know what? Let's go and ask him out. Not on a date, of course, because they're just friends, But let's go and travel and go to the bar with him. Hopefully he's going to say yes and he can just stop working over here because it's 6 p.m. It's nice, It's okay. And yes, he's going to see us there. Margaret and Delsin just arrived at the bar, and Margaret is so excited, she feels her leg being kind of numb because it's the guy that she was in love with throughout her entire high school years. She's just so excited to be talking to him. It's like she's been imagining his voice throughout all those years, and she can finally hear it. It feels so weird, and she can also sense his perfume, or actually smell his perfume, and she's feeling kind of numb, but as usual, Margaret she's not really awkward like that when she's around people that she's not in love with or that she doesn't feel attracted to, but when she's with someone that she thinks is really attractive, she's being kind of funny like that and goofing around and, being kind of awkward like that. But people like her for who she is. So let's go over here and grab a drink together. So let's go and order a drink. Order drinks for the group. Let's go and have a root beer float. And I think Delsin is also being quite... Okay, so she's ordering a drink from the street. That's fine. Oh no, she was calling him over. You know what? Let's go and grab a drink together. I think she's... Look at that. She's looking at him. She's so excited to be talking to Delsin, the guy who played football and who all the girls were kind of attracted to him. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. There was actually this other guy, I don't remember his name, maybe it was Kevin or something like that, and all of the girls wanted to be his girlfriend, but he already had one who was, you can guess it, the main cheerleader, the chief cheerleader. I don't know how it is in the US, but she was the one who was the most famous girl in high school, and he was dating her. Delsin, he wasn't like that. He was more like a bro. He was always hanging out with his friends, and he was kind of unreachable like that. Margaret couldn't talk to him because he was just always surrounded by guys, and he was never alone. And as I said, they've talked just a couple times, but it was always in a school environment, always in a class, never just getting to know each other. So it's the very first time that she can really show him who she is, which is actually quite tough for her because she doesn't even know really who she is right now. So she can actually invent herself, and she's going to invent that she's really confident and that she's also very funny by telling a whole bunch of jokes. And I think she's going to be quite bold and try to tell him that she finds him really attractive. She's not going to confess her attraction right now, but she's going to just flirt a little bit with him, and then she will have, oh, he's non-committal. That would explain why he never had any girlfriend when he was in high school. Maybe that's why. But that's not something that Margaret is going to be upset with because, oh, she's going to compliment his appearance again. Maybe this is not going to be a good idea, Margaret. But she will need to go and use the bathrooms because, yes, she definitely needs to use the bathrooms. I think the bathrooms are upstairs. Yes, is there a door? Okay, so the girls are on the left. Let's have her here, go here and use the bathrooms. And then let's go downstairs. You need to hurry, Margaret. Did he leave? No, 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 you stay here. Oh, no, okay, we're going to invite him back again. Alright, so they decided to go and talk on the street, maybe because there was too many people at the bar and they couldn't hear each other. But it's actually Delsin who drew Margaret over here. So let's go and hug him and see if that works. They've drank a little bit, so they're not, you know, they're not drunk, but a little bit, you know, they're quite happy because of all that alcohol that's running through their veins. Let's go and do a heartfelt compliment and let's go and maybe exchange numbers. That would be a good thing. And flirt a little bit with him. As I said, she's feeling a little bit numb because she's hanging out with the guy she was in love with in high school, but also because they drank a little bit. And she's starting to feel a little bit hungry, but that's okay, you know. Usually, actually, this is something that happened to me before, but when I was with the person that I was attracted to and I was hungry or I needed to pee, I kind of held it all inside, you know. I wasn't sharing that I was hungry or that I needed to pee because I was so afraid that that person would just vanish and I wouldn't be able to talk to them anymore. I think that's what's happening right now with Margaret. And look at that, she's feeling confident and everything is going well. Let's go and share a secret, maybe of something that she's heard about an old friend from high school. And oh yes, let's go and lie about career. Because Delsin, even though, you know, he works at a food stall, he has something. And Margaret, she doesn't have anything. She doesn't know where she's at. She doesn't know what to do with her life. So she doesn't want to share that with him right now. She doesn't want to say anything. And let's go and do a pickup line. Because she's feeling confident, I think it's going to go pretty well. Look at that. He's taking everything well. And they're feeling flirty, you guys. Ooh, she wants to get to know Delsin. So Delsin received a text from a friend who told him that there was a party going down at the Bluffs, and he invited Margaret because he was with him, so he wanted to spend a little bit more time with her, and so he invited her over here, and Margaret is very, very excited to be spending more time with Delsin in another environment, you know, an environment that's all about having fun, and maybe let's tell him a dramatic story. And she actually wants to get to know him a bit more, so let's go and get to know. She also would like to tell an unbelievable story, so why not, you know? I mean, he stayed back in Windenburg while she moved to San Myshuno, so maybe she's going to invent, you know, create something, an entire story that never really happened, maybe inspired from something that truly, really happened, but, you know, just telling him something incredible from San Myshuno. I don't know if that makes sense, but she's very, very happy to be hanging out with him. So let's go, look at that, she wants to kiss him. Let's go and do a little bit of a romance. Let's go and do a bold pickup line because Margaret is feeling very confident and so excited to be here with him. I would like, though, to have maybe a mixologist, but usually the mixologists are kind of glitched out over here for some reason. But she's very, very excited to be with Delsin over here. Let's go, not talk about games, but let's be a little bit flirtatious. Let's go and blow a kiss, why not? Look at that. She's kind of creating herself right now, you know. She's not entirely her true self, but who is during the first, in a way, date? Because it's not really a date, they just came across each other just randomly in the streets, and now they're hanging out at the party and flirting together. And, you know, you're not really your true self, you're just trying to show the best side of you, or sometimes just creating an entire new you, if that makes sense, just to attract the person that you're hanging out with. And Margaret doesn't know how Delsin saw her in high school, and he never really saw her as being someone awkward or someone kind of geeky and nerdy, because she wasn't really like that. She liked playing video games, of course, from time to time, and she was mostly hanging out with all of her friends and always talking about arts and paintings until she turned 16, where she kind of pulled everything back and wasn't really talking to anybody. But he never really saw her like that, and Margaret is thinking that he never really considered her as a person, you know. He was always seeing her as the kind of nerdy girl who was always painting and being creative and all of that kind of stuff, but he actually never really saw her this way. She wants to woohoo with Delson. I kind of want to pin that one, but on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know. Let's go and do a sexy pose. But I think Margaret would like to go a little bit away from the dancing with Delson. And let's go over here and go here together and stop dancing. I think she wants to be a little bit alone with him and see how things go. And it's actually quite cool right now. It's not cold, but it's cool. Oh, she's feeling tired though. That's not cool. And it's 2 in the morning. Actually, tomorrow she had a meeting with her family to the place where her brother and her best friend Samuel are supposed to get married at. So she should actually head back home and go to bed. But she's feeling really... She's confident right now and she wants to go ahead and kiss Delson. She's really tired. She's drunk a little bit. You know, she's been drinking at the bar. Let's go and offer him a rose and hold hands again. And he actually went for it. So I think, you know, that Delson is quite attracted to her. Oh, woohoo in a bush. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Margaret should really think about heading back home. She should really... Why is she thinking about an engagement ring? Oh, she's thinking about her brother and about the fact that she's supposed to head back to the house because tomorrow they have a meeting, as I said, at the manor where the wedding is supposed to be held at. And she's already very, very late. She's going to be so tired tomorrow. Morning and it is 8 a.m. and Margaret just woke up in a different bed than she was thinking she was in. She doesn't exactly remember what happened. She just remembers waking up not being entirely dressed, and she was just a little bit too drunk maybe yesterday, maybe because she hasn't eaten a lot. And Delson is just in the bathrooms upstairs with his dog, whose name is Kana. She's a very beautiful pit bull, actually. And Margaret is just helping herself out with a bowl of cereals. And she's just wondering what happened last night. I'm wondering if she's going to talk to Delson. No, it's actually Kana who's going to go and introduce herself to Margaret. Or actually, who's wondering... Who is this young lady who came back with my owner yesterday? Maybe this is what Kana is thinking. But Margaret is really wondering what happened last night. And she's feeling quite flirty still because she can guess, you know, what happened. She's just not sure if they went all the way out. And look at him, still feeling very flirty. So let's go and brighten his day. And maybe we can ask him what happened last night. Did we go all out? Or did we just cuddle and went to bed? So let's go and ask about his day. And she also wants to tell a dirty joke. No, she's now happy, you know, she's happy to see that everything is still fine between them. And Delson is actually going to say to her, well, no, we went all out. We weren't just cuddling, if you know what I mean. And she wants to make out with him. So she definitely has feelings for him. But does she want this to continue on? Or does she just want for this to be just a fling that she can just... remember later on in her life, just something that she did kind of on a whim as well, and just kind of, you know, there is no responsibility between them. They just had one night stand, and this is something that she's actually pretty happy with. So let's go and tell him an inside joke. But it will be time for Margaret to head out to the manor or the mansion, I don't know, of Windenburg, where her brother and her entire family are actually preparing the wedding. They need to decorate and install everything they need for the wedding day. So Margaret is going to say goodbye to Delson, and I would like for her to actually give him a big kiss. Big kiss goodbye. Can we do that? Let's go. Look at that. It's William and Sam's wedding tomorrow. And, oh my god, she's receiving so much money. Alice is receiving all of her royalties. Okay, so it's time to say goodbye to Delson, and it's time to head to the mansion. The family has arrived at the mansion, and Margaret desperately needs to use the bathroom. She forgot to do that when she left for Delson's house. And her family is actually her parents more than William and Samuel, because William right now, he is just feeling really, really stressed out about the wedding, even though he's really flirty as well, because he's going to get married tomorrow. Look at that, prepping for romance. Oh, that's so cool. But he's also very, very worried because he's wondering, is everything okay? Is everything ready? And I think the arch is over here. So this is where they're going to get married at. And it's a beautiful waterfall. There is everything they need. There is a piano over there, and we still need to decorate a little bit more the place, even though there are already some decorations around the mansion, because it's going to be their wedding tomorrow. So as you can see, there are some lights over here, but we still need maybe to place some balloons here and there. We also need to place maybe a bar, and a how is it called, a buffet table, so that everyone can eat at. So we need to do all of that somewhere. I don't really know where though, but you know, around the place over here. And Margaret, she's feeling really confident right now. She's feeling great, you know. She spent the night with the guy she was in love with in high school, and she feels accomplished for some reason. But anyway, it's time for everyone to get ready for the wedding, and especially this place to be decorated for the wedding. There you go. So I think that's pretty much done for the decoration. I didn't really do anything on the building itself. I really focused on the back of the building. But this is actually where I think the wedding is going to be held at. So we're going to have the photo booth over here to take some pictures and memories of this incredible day that's going to happen tomorrow. Here we have the entire dining table. We also have a couple of buffet or banquet table, I don't know. And over here is the dance area. So we have this bench over there for some people who are either tired or don't want to dance. And of course there is the bar, and there is also the DJ booth over here. And so everyone is going to go over there, all over the garden, to celebrate the wedding. And then everyone is going to go back and celebrate the food part of the wedding over here. And Philip is actually going to see what's going on around here, I guess. No, he's interested in something else. Oh, Alice is so tired. She's sleeping on the bench. Why is that? See, she's been running everywhere all the time, and now she's very, very tired. But William, oh, he's already spending time with his sister. He's been feeling really, really stressed out about the wedding, and he's wondering, is this too quick? Is this too fast? I don't know what's going on. It's, as I said, you know, they've pushed forward the wedding. You know, they were supposed to be having the wedding maybe next year because they just got engaged in spring. But since Philip has been having some health issues and the doctor said that he might not be there next year, William and Samuel decided to have their wedding sooner than they wanted to, just so that Philip can be a part of that wedding. And even though this is something that they decided together, William, he's feeling really, really worried about how is the wedding going to go, you know? Is something going to go wrong? We've had so little time to just plan everything that could go wrong, that if something goes wrong, we're not ready for it. And Margaret, she doesn't really want to... Oh, ask about career. Let's not do that. Let's talk about best bait, because this was something that he liked to do with his dad, going in fishing with him. Let's go and share a secret and, of course, why not, talk about the best bait. But Margaret, even though she doesn't really know how it is to get married and to feel that stress of, is it the right thing for me? Is it okay? Where did she vanish? Okay, she's over there. She teleported for some reason. She doesn't really know what it feels like to get married and to know that you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone. She doesn't know anything about that. She's going to say to her brother, you are meant for each other. You've been together for so long and you're made for each other. You are soulmate. And she still wants to make out with Delson. Ooh, she's still thinking a little bit about him. And, you know, she's going to tell William how amazed and how inspired she is by their relationship. They've been together for so long and they love each other as if they've, you know, every time they see each other, it's like it's the first time that they see each other and the first time that they're falling in love with one another. And she's just amazed by that. And William, you know, of course, he's been spending the night at his parents' house for the past week, and he saw that Margaret wasn't coming back home last night. He knows that she wasn't there last night. So he's wondering, where were you last night? We've been waiting for you and you weren't there. And Margaret is going to tell him, you know what, I'm quite hungry. What if we went to a restaurant somewhere or actually we went to grab something to eat and I can tell you everything that happened. And maybe while going away from the wedding just for a couple hours, maybe you can relax a bit and, you know, just see that everything is actually fine and that everything is going to go fine. And if something goes wrong, don't worry, mom is there to deal with it. So, you know what? Let's go away from everybody and just sneak out together to a cafe where we can grab something to eat and I can tell you where I was yesterday evening. Margaret and William just arrived at this really fancy cafe, you know, on the really fancy part of Windenburg. And William is, of course, really, really curious to know what was Margaret doing last night. Or actually, more accurately, who she was doing. So sorry. But anyway, he's very, very curious. So let's go and gush about partner and share some photos maybe of his outfit for tomorrow. And for tomorrow, yes, tomorrow. Oh my god, the wedding is going to happen tomorrow. And Margaret is going to tell him what happened. So let's go ahead and tell a funny story and ask to Margaret about her evening yesterday. Ask about day. And can Margaret order something? She's also very tired. She will need to maybe eat something quickly or maybe take a quick nap. Let's go and order some food for here. Let's go and have, pain au chocolat. This is just a delicious thing. I love pain au chocolat. I haven't eaten any in a very, very long time. Margaret is finally eating her pain au chocolat. This is actually really weird to say something French in the middle of an English sentence. But anyway, so let's go ahead and tell her a dramatic story. And Margaret is going to tell William what happened last night. And of course, she's going to tell him, well, I came across this guy that I used to know in high school. His name is Delson. And I used to have a huge crush on him back in the days, but I've never talked to him before. And yesterday, when I went with mom at the cafe for her literature class, I just wanted to breathe a little bit and I came across Delson at the food stall that he was standing down in the old neighborhood of Windenburg, and I saw him there and I just decided to go and talk to him. And we started talking and talking and talking and so on and so forth, that we ended up at a bar, just grabbing a beer together and drinking together. And I don't know what happened, what took over me, but I decided to flirt with him and we started flirting together, and then he invited me at a party that was going on at the Bluffs, and we went there, and then for some reason, as things went along, I ended up at his house, and I woke up this morning in his bed, and William is going to be, what did you do, big sister? What did you do? Of course, he's going to find that very funny, but he's also going to be a little bit jealous because he hasn't been spending the night with Samuel for such a long time, and he also would like to have a little bit of fun because he's been planning this wedding for the past few weeks, and he's just very tired of just being onto paper and folders, just trying to figure out who's going to be the caterer, who's going to be the mixologist, who's going to be the DJ, how are going to be things organized during the party and everything. So he's going to be a little bit annoyed at his sister, and he's going to tell her a dramatic story. You know, I haven't been out of the house for such a long time, except when I went to the mansion, or maybe when I went to the restaurant, or, you know, I haven't been doing anything fun. So, you know what? Why is mom here? I don't know. So Margaret is going to tell him, you know what? We can have a little bit of fun, and we're going to invite Samuel with us so that both of you can have some kind of a bachelor party. So Margaret and William are going to head back home so that they can get ready, and Margaret is going to invite both William and Samuel to the nightclub so that they can celebrate their bachelor party in a way before the day of their wedding. So I'm actually going to be ending the part here, you guys, and Margaret is very, very tired. She's ordering a drink, probably a coffee, so that she can hold it together until she arrives at the house and can maybe take a nap, a quick nap or something. But yeah, I'm going to end this part here, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, everyone!